In the work that I do with business leaders around the world, our vision is a simple one-page, 6-point statement about what we commit to become to be a profitable and responsible market leader in 3 to 5 years. There's a huge amount of confusion out there about what a vision and a mission are. Vision, mission, plan, all this stuff. In working with clients, I often go to their head offices, and in the lobby, beautifully framed on the wall, will be something that says our vision statement. And it says something like this: we love our customers. We honor the diversity of our staff. God is a nice person. The planet's a great place to hang around. We'll work hard and have fun. Signed, the management. And the pity is here that they may have paid some consulting firm $40,000 to come up with this embarrassing piece of crap. It doesn't inform, focus, challenge, or inspire anyone. And the purpose of a vision statement, to me, clearly should be to inform, focus, challenge, and inspire everybody at every level of the organization about what we commit to become to be that profitable and responsible market leader in 3 to 5 years. And if your vision statement doesn't do that, take it down. Everybody is laughing at you. Many business leaders believe that, conveniently, in fact, believe that there's no point in creating a vision because everything changes so quickly. Who can know the future, even 3 to 5 years down the road? With such an uncertain future, what's the real benefit and power of a vision? Well, if we think about it, there are really two kinds of future ahead of us. There is the future that will happen, the future over which we in fact have little or no control. Changes in demographics, changes in economy, war, emerging nations, legislation. There are a lot of changes, granted, over which we have little or no control. But there's a second kind of future out there, and it's called the future that we commit to create, that we choose to create. What will we do? In spite of what happens out there, what will we create? Bill Gates didn't say, I don't think I'll invent great, incredible, business-changing, life-changing software because I'm not exactly positively sure what the future will hold. He created the future. So it's useful perhaps to think about change in this way, that when it comes to the subject of change, there are 3 positions open and available for any business leader. Number 1, we as a business can choose to be the architect of change. We can create the future. Number 2, we could embrace the change created by others. Or number 3, we can be the victim of change. See, when it comes to change, there are only 3 positions open and available. 1, 2, 3 positions open and available. Be the architect of change, embrace the change created by others, or be the victim of change. It's about whether you choose to see a victim mentality, a proactive mentality. Pick one. Many consultants, many speakers, many authors who write on the subject of vision for businesses or for life will tell you that your vision is your dream. That's how they do it. It's your dream as to the very best you ever want to be in your life. And I used to say that too, and I probably should call about 250,000 people that I've said that to over the years and apologize for lying to them. Because I believe today that our dream may not, in fact, be good enough. Let's say that my dream is to not travel 240 days a year on the road working with businesses around the world. And I want to spend more time at home with my wife. So I'm going to get out of that business and I'm going to open a nice little hardware store about 10 minutes from home and spend every night with my wife and family. And that's my dream. But let's say that Home Depot's vision is to open a big box store 2 blocks from there. That's my new reality. So as I noodle this thing through, what I figured out is, I believe, that our vision is a combination of what we want to become, our dream, if you will, and the reality of what we must become. because we may not want to become as good as we need to become to be a profitable market leader in 3 to 5 years. And this insight came to me. The universe handed it to me 30,000 feet over Kansas a few years ago on my way from Reno to Chicago on my way back home after some presentations. And I had the good fortune to be sitting beside a couple on the airplane who happened to be in their early 60s. And I got chatting with them, and I said to the husband, "What do you folks do?" And he said, "Me and the missus are retired. Me and the missus." Don't you love it? It's right up there with the little woman. I thought, if she doesn't smack 'em, I will. Anyway, I said, "What do you do?" And he said, we're retired. And I said, "What did you used to do?" And he said, "We had 3 small grocery stores in towns in Ohio." You had them, so you sold them. He said, "Yes, we did." I said, "How did you come to that decision?" He said, "Well," he said, I was sitting in my office one day. I was reading one of them trade magazines. I was doing research, I suppose, and I read there that Walmart is now the largest retailer of groceries in America, and I did not know that. And I got kind of scared, but I read on, and it talked about the size of town that Walmart looks to go into, and I said, "Praise the Lord, my 3 towns are too small for my new reality." But he said, I did some figuring, I did some reckoning, some math, and I calculated that each of my 3 markets, my 3 towns, growing as quickly as they are, in 3 to 5 years, each of them will be big enough for my new reality, a Walmart store. So I got in my car, he said, and I drove up the highway to a town that was already big enough for a Walmart store, and I walked in and I looked around and I said something biblical. "Oh my God." He said, I rushed back home, I got a piece of paper and a pen, and I started making a list of all the things we must do before our new reality comes to town. And as a business leader, what new reality is coming to your market, to your town, and do you have a list? He started making the list. He said, number 1, we'll have to invest $8 million to enlarge and beautify our 3 small stores. And he said, that's an investment decision. And he said, number 2, he said, we'll probably have to be open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, whether me and the missus like it or not. And he said, that's a lifestyle issue. He said, number 3, a little twinkle in his eye, he said, number 3, we'll probably have to hire an MBA to help us run the sucker. And he said, I don't know which of them 3 scared me the most. But the beautiful thing was, he said, me and the missus, this is the gem here. He said, me and the missus looked at a clear picture of what we want to become in our business and our life, and a clear picture of the reality of what we must become to be a profitable market leader in 3 to 5 years. And he said, you know what? For us, them 2 pictures look nothing alike. Brilliance at 30,000 feet over Kansas. And his grammar wasn't too good, but his thinking was brilliant. So I ask all of my clients, do you have that kind of clarity about the investment decisions, the lifestyle decisions, what are you going to have to do to make this business a profitable and responsible market leader in 3 to 5 years? And do you want to be that? Are you passionately committed to become that? Because this gentleman said we weren't. We just didn't want to do that. We were in our 60s, our early 60s, and I'd broken so many promises to my wife over the years. We haven't had a vacation for 10 years, and he said we just didn't want to become what we must become. So do we have the clarity, a vision of what we must become and what we want to become? And he said we didn't. So we found a nice young feller with a friendly bank manager who apparently had never been to a Walmart store, and we sold him the suckers. Because he said if we had waited, we would have got nothing. See, here's what I think happens. We start off in business, we start off passionate, and then we get a bit complacent. And then we get a little bit resentful, because when we're complacent, the numbers aren't so good anymore, and we get a little complacent. And then we get bitter, and then we die. Now think about that as a life journey. Passionate, complacent, resentful, bitter, and death. Now, the neat thing about having a clear vision as to what we're committed to become is that it keeps us passionate. There's actually 3 fringe benefits, extra benefits to having clarity of vision. And our vision, number 1, is our vision keeps us passionate. Because as human beings, it's simply easier to be passionate about where we're going than where we're stuck right now. If I come home at the end of the day, walk in the door and say to my wife, well, I'm home again, but we're going to Hawaii next week. You see how much easier it is to be passionate about where we're going than where we're stuck right now. And if you don't have that clarity of vision, you're not going anywhere. You're stuck right here pretty much forever. Passionate and then complacent, resentful, bitter, and death. As opposed to always passionate, always growing, always becoming. The second benefit to having clarity of vision is that our vision keeps us focused. Creative people, great minds, tend to go off in this direction, off in that direction. And if you're a charismatic leader, the problem is you'll lead everybody off in that direction and everybody off in that direction. If you're not charismatic, you just may go there yourself one day and over there the next day and just confuse the heck out of your people, but you're not charismatic enough to get them to follow you, but so they sit there and in fact do nothing. But our vision keeps us focused. We get all these ideas. We get this input. There's so much input on the planet today. We got all that input. And from that, we generate ideas because we're leaders. We're creative people. We create those ideas. But only a fraction of those ideas are actually useful in helping us getting where we're going. So if we're focused, if we have that clarity of vision, the ideas that are not going to help us get where we're committed to be, we just let them go. We just discard them. Just let them go. Your vision keeps you passionate, keeps you focused, and there's a third benefit of having this clarity of vision that almost nobody ever thinks of, and that is that clarity of vision allows you to proactively hire people who can help you become what you're committed to become. Here's what happens. If you don't have a clear vision for where your business is going, your business as you best understand it is your business as it just was. The year is over, you have the numbers, you sit down with your auditors or the accountants, you do the autopsy, you look at last year, and your business now, as you best understand it, is your business as it just was. So you hire people for the immediate past. But when you have clarity of vision, you say, this is where we're going. This is the business model that we're going to adopt to get us there. This is the team that we need to put together to get us there. Here's the weaknesses on our current team. So here's what we either have to learn or who we have to acquire. And you go out and you proactively hire people who can help you become what you're committed to become. Your clear vision allows you to proactively hire people who have already been where you have been, who have the experience to get you there. We should be hiring guides in business, in each of our areas of the business. And a guide, by definition, is someone who's already been there. So if your business is at 20 million and you're headed for 40, you should be looking to hire people who have successfully done what you need doing in a business of 40 to 50 million dollars. Stop hiring for the immediate past. I used to do that. It just about killed us 7 times. Based on working with large, medium, and small businesses all around the world now for 16 or 17 years, I have created a simple, clear process for creating a one-page, clear and compelling vision statement for any business of any size that I'm delighted to make available to any business leader struggling to create a vision. My article on vision and mission is found at donaldcooper.com, free articles button. They're called buttons, I think. Free article, click on the free article button and go to section B, article 9. So donaldcooper.com, free articles, B9.